Moon Knight issue number 27. Oh man, it's been a minute since a book of this caliber made it to 27. Let's just take that in for a minute. It's amazing. We're reaching the death of Mark Spector. That is the, I guess, conclusion arc of Jed MacKay's tenure on Moon Knight, which makes sense. I have my theories about where that could go, but this is the first issue where it definitely feels like we're ramping up to whatever that conclusion is going to be. Because this issue gives us a lot of info dumping in some very interesting ways called the Mindscape. It ties in a lot of things from the earlier runs of Moon Knight, things where you're just like, oh, that's a good one-off. It's like, actually, we're paying it off now, literally 24 issues later. Years later, MacKay's paying it off. Unreal. That is unreal. It is so freaking cool. Let's get into this book. We open up and we see we have to go into somebody's mind. But first we have to make one stop. We have to talk to Howley. Do you remember Howley? Earlier on in the run, his sweat. It was his sweat, yeah. You drank his sweat, you hallucinated in a different realm. So now Badr and Mark are going to take some of his sweat. They're going to go over to Vibro, who's one of the guys they kidnapped during an assault recently. That was when they needed him conscious, but Badr lost control of himself for a minute because one of the other Fists of Khonshu took over his body. And he's like, I don't remember hurting this guy. It's freaky, but Mark's like, it's all right, dude. I'm used to having voices in the head. You'll figure it out. But first, let's take some of this sweat, baby. And we're going to put it into this guy's IV. We're going to drink it ourselves. And we're going to go into the mindscape of Vibro, which is like, okay, if that's what we're doing in this issue, you got me again, MacKay. I'm here for it. Like, I love a good Moon Knight in the Mindscape because you can do so many weird things. Literally an endless, like, cavalcade of whatever you want to do, we can do. So the Fists of Khonshu enter into the Mindscape. They see there's like a version of Black Spectre hanging on, like it's controlling the mind of Vibro, and there's like Vibro soldiers that are just out and about patrolling or something. And then we see that there's this like one normal man running amok being chased by the Vibros, and we're like, who is that? What's happening there? We also see, as this is happening, that the manifestations of Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley are able to appear, and they help this guy stabilize. And Badr's like, you can just manifest like your other selves in this space? Like, yeah, we're in a mind. It doesn't matter. They're here. Interesting. Badr's starting to understand. Maybe Mark's a little more clever than he's ever been. That's kind of interesting. So Jake and Steven talk to this man. His name is Alton. He just like remembers like falling, and now he's in this mind, doesn't know who he is. Steven's trying to like, okay, are you like a mutant? Do you have like any idea how you could be in the mind of a supervillain? It's like, no, I don't remember any of that. I just, something started chasing me, and suddenly I'm here. It's like, I don't know, like the name of the Black Spectre, like that does sound like something. It's like they worship him. They worship him here. It's very weird. And he wants revenge. Like, who does he want revenge on? Like, on everyone, on this city. It's weird. He wants to kill Manhattan. He wants to watch as the city kills itself. How does he want to do that? With the help of Vibro and the help of Sarnak. Why? Because Vibro knows geology and Sarnak knows about sound. So this is, I guess, the plan that Black Spectre, who's probably Plesko, we don't have that confirmed though, it's all but confirmed. This is his plan to destroy the city. Now, saying city, it does kind of take away like the personalness that could be destroying Mark, but having the city destroy itself at Mark's watch, that's interesting too. So Vibro's been like supervising drilling deep in the bedrock on like something in Manhattan. He's been turning it into an enormous resonator to broadcast Sarnak's madness music. So we're gonna do the thing from Kingsman where we flick a switch, the sound comes off, and everybody in the church went crazy attacking Colin Firth. We're going to do that, but in Manhattan, the city will kill itself. All the while, Mark and Badr, they're just fighting some Vibro brain guys. I don't know. It's sick, you know? Bad shit is afoot in this mindscape. When they stop fighting the Vibros, Marshall was like, okay, did we learn anything? Was that helpful? He was like, yes and no. It is helpful, but I don't know how this plan is actually going to fulfill itself. Like, It's crazy. It's scary. I don't know how we're going to accomplish anything here. More Vibros are coming into the fight. It's not looking good. And this is when Badr's like, heretic, apostate? Is that what it is? I don't know. Apostate? I don't know. Traitor. He's talking like a religious man. Who is this guy? Why is he like a zealot for all this? It's very creepy. Do you have any like actual information on who Vibro? He's like, yeah, I got it from Tigra, and she like gave me some info. That's when, oh, they start to clue in on who this Alton guy is who's giving them all this information. Uh-oh. Something going on there. What could it be? Pretty easily. So Mark's like, I have to talk to Alton. Badr, can you like hold them off? You want me to hold them off alone? It's like, only, yeah, well, no, because you're not really alone. You're a Fisticonchu. You've never been alone since you've been a Fisticonchu. And don't forget where we are. So when all these Vibros of the mind start to come after Badr, he's like, all right, brothers and sisters and my siblings, let's wreak havoc. And then like all of the previous Fists of Khonshu just emerge, and they're ready to do some deadly fights with the Vibros. Meanwhile, we cut back to Mark, who is just having a quiet conversation with Alton's like, it's okay. Remember who you are. You know who you are. You're Alton Vibro. Vibro? I think it's like Vibro. Like, that's his last name, so it's just like Vibro, but spelled differently. You get it. There's an accident in the San Andreas. You got mixed with some, like, weird chemical stuff, but you're okay. You can get through this. You are in the mind of a madman, which I understand. I've been there myself. It can get very intense and very scary, but you have to pull through, and I need you to tell me where Black Spectre is and where they're planning all of this stuff. And you just see Alton's like, I don't know if I can do this. You can do this. I trust in you. Please help me find your sanity again. Find a way to control yourself again, which is so interesting. Like, this character nobody's thinking of is given this quiet moment to like redeem himself. That's the Jed McKay special on Moon Knight. It's like, no one's thinking about like the Wax Man. No one's thinking about Vibro, but here he is. We're giving Alton Vibro a thing to do, and he's gonna like reel. They're like in the Mount building in the Olympus room. It's like the perfect location for like this huge plan they're going through. It's terrifying. He's like, all right, thank you, Alton. You did great. He's like, no, thank you. I feel like I can fight back against like the part of myself I've been letting be in control for so long. So now it's time for you to go, and I'm going to take over from here. So we see Badr like summons his siblings back into him. He thanks them, and then Alton's going to reclaim the body of Vibro, I guess, by fighting all the evil Mindscape Vibros. Hey, that's a really cool, really specific idea that I am 100% here for. Wow, like, really? As we're gearing up for the death of Mark Spector, Jed McKay's like, actually, I can just skew a little ways this way and give Vibro something to do, and then also just set up like we're doing a big mind thing and Manhattan's gonna go crazy and kill themselves. Very interesting. Like that. Like, yeah, we're in the Mindscape. They can both summon their alternates in the past Fist of Khonshu, but also just a quiet kind of introspective moment for a guy who's been afraid of himself for so long. That's Moon Knight to a T. I appreciate that so much. And then the last page reveal is just like Black Spectre and Zodiac, and they're all in a room. We're like, all right, I kind of figured they'd take Vibro. That means the Mark's going to figure it out soon. So the timetable's being moved up. We're going to strike tonight. So the plans are going off with a hitch. It's going bad. Shit's about to get real. What I find very interesting too is in the mindscape of Vibro, the Black Spectre that they are worshipping is the version of Carson Knowles, like the classic looking Black Spectre costume. But that doesn't seem to be the one we're seeing in the present day, because in City of the Dead, Mark Spector is also fighting Carson Knowles, the Black Spectre there. So, I mean, it's clearly not going to be Carson, but I guess like the iconography of like the classic Carson like Black Spectre works. Nothing wrong with that. Very fun issue. Like, we're just gearing up. Things are getting intense now. But before that, here's a minute where Mark, Jake, and Steven just enter a mind with Badr, and they fight a couple of dudes and learn a lesson. Cool. I mean, we're gearing up, and that's all you need to do here. At issue 27, I know we're reaching the end of the book, so just a quiet one like this, I'm here for it. I think it's a really cool, interesting thing that we've done. I'm glad it happened. It's kind of cool. It's really interesting. This book still surprises. So, Moon Knight issue 27, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.